Alright, hey guys, I'm CCG back in the video. With this video, I'm going to bring you guys the best reprints, at least in my opinion, from the 25th anniversary tin Dueling Mirrors, and just cards for you to look out for if you're going to be buying these tins or if you're just going to be going out for the singles. And I do want to let you guys know that if you are going to purchase anything and you want to support the channel, consider using the affiliate link in the description down below. But otherwise, let's get started here with the first card, which is the obvious one, which is SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight, insane staple. We haven't quite seen a staple like this in quite a minute, and we're actually seeing a legit form of a reprint here for SP Little Knight, and you can see the price has already crashed quite a bit. If you guys didn't know, SP Little Knight kind of peaked around like the 120 range, maybe a little bit higher. But besides that, it does seem to be crashing down just by the announcement of this, and you can see it's still on pre-sale, so it's still going to go down once it actually gets released, as it typically does. But that is good to see, and that's definitely a card to look out for. The second card here is Toon Kingdom. So I thought this was a cool little one where if you guys like playing Toon, they're not the best as an archetype, but it's a fun deck, and they did get a reprint of the Dragon of Legend, the complete series, but I think it's still going to be fun to just kind of play around with here, especially if you like playing with Toon monsters, and you're going to be able to get one here for relatively cheap. Obviously, there's going to be other cards there that haven't been reprinted, but if you wanted the Toon Kingdom, well then there you go. So in here we have Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. If you play Branded, this is a staple, or if you want to get into Branded, then now you know that this is a staple. Yeah, it's just a really good card, and usually you're going to use it for a lock, and so it's a pretty important piece if you're going to go into that. Otherwise, we do have Trident Dragon, which we saw with the recent success of Tenpai Dragon, that we were going to eventually get Trident Dragon here. It was very expensive because it wasn't reprinted for years, but we knew there was going to be a reprint coming here, and so you can see the prices are still pretty insane. You see it says $15 here, but it can range from $15 to $70, and here for the pre-sale it's already at $20, which is pretty good to see, as we know that it typically goes lower than that once it comes out. And then Bonfire here has been a staple just for pyro decks. It's a very good search. It's just a rota for pyro monsters, so obviously as it's a rota, it's going to be very usable. And you can see I'm still at $20, but hopefully it goes down a bit more once it comes out. But besides that, it's really cool to see an actual reprint for Bonfire. And then here we have Diabellistar. So Diabellistar has been seeing a lot of success recently. A lot of people are mixing this with different decks. In fact, Infernoids, which is one of my favorite decks, that's just a deck another deck that they mix with this. It's a really strong card, and yeah, now you can buy one here for around $20. I would suggest that you wait a little bit before you buy anything, just to make sure that the price is stabilized, as they typically crash a bit. But Diabellistar is great. And then here, Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. You can see this card was also pretty expensive, only printed once, really. Here we have the Quarter Century rare, but that's only if you're going for that premium rarity. But besides that, having a decent reprint here is good to see. At least having one is nice. It's going to help lower the price down quite a bit. And then another one here that's a pretty powerful staple has been Superstar Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. And this card is just great if you're going to be going into an opponent's powerful board here. This card is really good at just enabling a way of just negating all that, as during the turn or turn after your opponent special summon 2 or more monsters from the extra deck. You can also exceed summon this card by using one monster you control with the highest attack. So all you do is just normal summon this card, or normal summon a card, and then since your opponent has summoned 2 or more monsters from the extra deck during their turn, then you can just use this. You can go into this, and while this exceeds summoning monsters on the field, another player can activate the effects of monsters with the 3,000 or more attack. And since there's no Appaloosa or anything, then you can get this out and pretty reliably just negate your opponent's board. And yeah, it's just a very annoying card for your opponents to deal with, and it just gives you a way to play through it. Besides that, we do have our Unchained Soul Lord of Yama. So this is if you're playing specifically just Unchained, but you've seen there's a lot of Unchained hybrid builds coming out, so this is going to be good for people that want to touch that. As you can see, again, there's only one version really, as the premium version's there, but besides that, seeing another version here, and it's just going to make Unchained much more accessible for players. Then we have Bystial Dispatter. So Bystial Dispatter is a really powerful card, and it's very cool to see a reprint for this card, because it was going up in price quite recently. Hopefully here we can see that the price has been going. Now it looks like it's still staying at relatively high price, sadly, but hopefully once it actually comes out, it's going to go down a little bit more. But this is the old version here, but I just wanted to show you guys the art. So basically, the Spatter is a pretty flexible card, at least for dragon decks, as you're going to be seeing a lot of light or dark monsters in dragon decks. So being able to use this, get something out, and not only that, but you can target a banished card shuffle into the deck, and then you can destroy an opponent's monster and negate an effect. It gives a lot of playability, and it's pretty cool to see. Yeah, it's definitely going to be used once it comes out, and I just want you guys to keep an eye out for this card because it's a very solid one to pull here. And then another one is Triple Tactics Thrust. So this card is very powerful. This is of course the alternate version of Triple Tactic Talents, as here. The nice thing about this card is that if your opponent activates a monster effect during this turn, you can set a normal spell or trap. So this is pretty good if your deck relies on getting a specific spell or trap, then being able to use this card. Your opponent plays an Ash Blossom, search out whatever you need, and then from there you can play what you need. It's a pretty solid card. You usually see it on a lot of my builds. I try to restrict how many I use here, just because it is very expensive and I don't want you guys to be spending too much here. That's just cool to see a reprint for this. Besides that, we do have Chaos Angel, which is another cool chaos monster. So here it says for this card synchro summon, you can treat one light or dark monster you control as a tuner, and if this card is special summon, you can target one card in the field and banish it. So that's cool, just a banish, non-form of destruction here, just gonna remove something on the board. And then if you use a light monster, synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. So giving all your synchro monsters protection from monster effects, pretty insane. And then if you do use dark, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So not only will this card go on the field, banish something on the board, but then from there, if you used a light and a dark monster, synchro monsters are unaffected by monster effects, and they also cannot be destroyed by battle, making all your synchro monsters pretty powerful. Really strong card here, and it's just cool to see a reprint for this card. And finally, I just want you guys to keep note of, so this is from Yu-Gi-Oh! News TCG on Twitter if you guys want to check that out. But besides that, these are the reprints that I want you guys to like keep an eye out for. You can see here the Raigeki with Slifer art is pretty cool. Limit removal with Cyber Dragon, Harpy's Feather Duster, Red Eyes, Dark Magician Girl, and then tuning here. So you can see quite a few reprints and just cool alternate art. Just if you guys are looking out for that, it's definitely worth noting, and I just wanted to mention it to you guys. There is other alternate art cards here, but I just wanted to mention these because these are the main like generic ones that you can run, besides obviously the Red Eyes or Dark Magician Girl, but I included them because they're Red Eyes and Dark Magician Girl. But besides that, if you guys enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, make sure to check out that link in the description down below, or consider supporting the Patreon. Otherwise, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.